In today's education news, the DfE say a 2.8 teacher pay rise is going to be appropriate for 25-26. Now, the school teachers review body, the STRB, has said this would maintain the competitiveness of teachers' pay despite the challenging financial backdrop the government is facing. We know there was this massive black hole left by the previous government, and teachers have been awarded a 5.5% increase this year, 6.5% last year. So the government said the 2.8% pay rise would mean a 21% increase in just the past 4 years. But the IFS have estimated that even after this year's pay rise, pay of experienced teachers will be around 9% lower in real terms than 2010. I've said on numerous occasions that as important as pay is, I don't think that is what is going to solve the retention crisis in education. It's not a case that teachers being paid more is going to keep them in the profession. I don't think paying teachers more is necessarily going to attract people to the profession. I think recruitment, a lot more needs to be done around flexible working. What is affecting retention and what's forcing thousands of teachers to leave in their droves is the ongoing increase in workload, the lack of trust and stress and pressure, and the impact that has on teachers' well-being. And nothing is ever done by the DfE or Ofsted or anyone in power to sort that out. It just continues to get worse. So the biggest issue with this 2.8% teacher pay rise, for me, is that it's got to be funded out of existing school budgets. Now, I know the DfE have put more additional funding in for schools, but we already know that school budgets have been decimated over the past few years. Schools are still really struggling to make ends meet. So by now saying, pay increases have to come out of existing school budgets is only going to put more pressure on staff and expect them to do more with less. The fact that this 2.8% pay rise is having to be funded out of existing school budgets, forcing schools to make efficiencies, is not going to go down well. And that's before we even discuss the pay award for support staff. The union has said here the 2.8% pay increase fell well short of the urgent action needed. If the government are going to try and keep the promise of recruiting 6,500 new teachers, which I've said isn't the issue, it's not about recruiting, it's about retaining more importantly. But if investment isn't being put into our education service and the teachers who deliver it, you're not going to achieve that. And so, as I accept, I don't think it's realistic to expect the same level of increase that we've had, given everything else going on in the country and the black hole I've mentioned there. What worries me about a 2.8% increase is the fact it's got to come out of existing school budgets, which means we're going to see even more cuts in other areas of education, and we don't know where that will leave some support staff. If it was a case that 2.8% for teachers, meaning that there's more of a pay increase for support staff, which was fully funded, I would get behind. But it does worry me that it's just, again, going to pile more pressure on schools, leading to even more teachers leaving.